Welcome to the Unit 16 review. After the Black faction took control of Florence, Dante was accused of corruption. Since he was in Rome at the time, he was tried in absentia and sentenced to 2 years of exile, plus a 5,000 florins fine. When he was unable to pay the fine because his assets in Florence had been seized, he was then sentenced to murder should he ever return to the city of his birth.
In absentia.
In absentia.
Exile.
Exile. Dante wrote the Divine Comedy while in exile and included many figures from his life, both loved and hated, in the text. Now, the citizens of Florence these days consider Dante proudly to be one of their own, despite the fact that his trial was never overturned. In fact, it wasn't until 2008 that the city of Florence actually apologized for Dante's expulsion. According to local law, any case can be reviewed if new evidence of innocence is presented.
The only caveat is that the request must be made by a living heir of Dante. That's where Spirelli Alighieri comes into play. He is a descendant of Dante, and he's working with a lawyer to prove that his ancestor was unjustly convicted. They will hold a mock trial later this year, and historians, linguistics, and other lawyers will also be present to see if the conviction was just according to the laws at the time. Also in attendance will be a descendant of one of the Florentine officials who actually convicted Dante.
Mock trial.
Mock trial.
This case will unofficially determine whether Dante deserved his banishment or whether he was the victim of genuinely corrupt officials.
Imagine you were banished from your hometown of wherever you live, Texas. If you had to live in exile, what would you do?
I'm not sure. I think of the recent case with Edward Snowden, who is kind of hiding out or stuck in Russia right now. He uses some methods to have secure internet so that he can contact his family members and take care of some things in the States. But I don't know what kind of life that would be, to be stuck away from your family and the place where you call home. So I would probably try to make use of the internet as much as possible to connect and try to figure something out. What about you?
If I had to live in exile, I would probably watch movies, play video games, go cycling every now and then, and go for a swim.
Just have a long vacation.
In other words, I would do exactly the same things that I do now, but just in a different place. And maybe every now and then I'd be sad that I could never set my eyes on Big Ben again, but I would get over it. That is going to do it for this unit. Thank you very much for joining us. Bye-bye.